Good morning, this is Micah from OST. I'm going to make a video about the wiring in this car. This is our twin turbo Hellcat. Gone 440s in the 8th at 164 miles an hour, I believe. But we wired this car entirely in-house. This is run a Haltech Nexus R5 for control. We did headlights, taillights, engine, transmission, interior. Everything was wired here. So if this is something that you are looking to have done with your car, even if it's not a full tilt custom harness throughout the car and you're just wanting a nitrous system installed in your car and you want it wired, or fuel system, we do those very often, especially for the Gen 3 Hemi stuff. We can do any sort of wiring job. It's just that we're going to be talking about the Haltech install on this car today. So what we look for in our wiring most of all is serviceability, and then secondly, appearance. We want it to look nice, but it has to be serviceable. So that means no super hidden wires, no wires hidden inside things. And as for serviceability as well, that also means everything has to have a connector. You won't find any solenoids or sensors or actuators, whatever, on this car that are wired straight into the harness. Everything has a connector. Even if it doesn't come with a connector, we'll pot that sensor and put a connector on it. What we find to be the biggest issue with cars wired elsewhere is that they do not have connectors on everything or anything. So you'll have like nitrous solenoids that are just wired straight into a harness and go through the firewall or whatnot with no connector. So to remove them, you have to cut them out, which is definitely a no-go for us. So how we do things is we use this sheath here. It's just a nice non-abradable resistant sheath. We don't do a heat shrink through the whole harness. We choose to do this sheath. Everything gets a boot. They can get a boot. An example of putting a connector on anything would be this throttle position sensor here. I think it had a GM Weather Pack connector on it, and I'm not a big fan of those connectors. They're a little bit difficult to plug and unplug, especially after you've done it a bunch of times. They seem to not hold up. But these Deutsch connectors do a great job of that. So the ends were cut off and this was crimped on, and we have a replacement for it. If it ever does fail, we can just plug it right in. Another serviceability item is the intake manifold. Obviously there's a lot of connectors on it. This whole rail assembly stays with the intake manifold, so like fuel pressure and whatnot. And instead of unplugging all of those to remove the intake manifold, we just have these two 12-pin connectors behind the intake manifold that we unplug, and that is all the wiring that's on the intake. So you unplug those two and lift the intake off. There's no more wires to unplug. Kind of on the same deal, we have two bulkheads down on the firewall here. This one on the left here is for the engine harness, and the one on the right is for the chassis harness. When you want to remove the engine, you simply unplug this bulkhead and the whole engine harness stays with the engine as we lift the engine out. We got our coils on each side here, out of the way. So again, we got our sheathing here and our heat shrink. When we do our heat shrink and we're going to go into a bundle or it's a high wire count, we'll have a zip tie in here for strain relief. So this zip tie holds the wires together instead of the heat shrink holding the wires together. The heat shrink kind of likes to split apart when it's got to hold a lot of wires together like this. It's just not really meant to do that. So again, I'm going to zip tie up under the heat shrink here, just to be strain relief and hold it all together. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, we'll go in the side of the car now. So this is, like I said, running on Haltech. We have our IC7 dash here, and we have our keypad here. And the beauty of the Haltech stuff is that it's all CAN. So you got a 4-wire plug on the back of the dash and a 4-wire plug on the back of the keypad. And that's it. That's all your sensors going in here, and it can really pull up anything that the ECU is recording. As far as everything having a plug, as you can see, we got our steering wheel here with a bunch of different buttons on it. We have 2 trans brake buttons because we were testing to see which one gave a better reaction time. And we wanted to bring them both to the track at the same time, just to see. So how we've done the back of the wheel. And this, again, we're trying to make this car serviceable so that we can replace parts individually without having to do crimping or any sort of, well, we don't do soldering. Nothing has solder on this car, but soldering. Each of these buttons has its own plug on the back of the wheel, so that if you did have a button failure at the track, which can happen, thankfully it hasn't happened yet, you can just replace that button and plug in another one. You don't have to cut wires and crimp and get your wiring kit out, and you just plug in a new button. But as far as the two trans brake buttons go, we were able to switch back and forth between the two buttons to see which one was actually better. Now this one's kind of just along for the ride. And then, as you can see, we only have one cable coming off the steering wheel. We don't have, how many are there? Four cables. This one has 6 wires in it. And then we have our 6-pin connector here so that we can remove the entire steering wheel easily if we wanted to. But yeah, that turned out pretty nice. Easily replaceable buttons. And we could shift them all around if we wanted to. Just if Dad decided that he wanted the functionality of these two switched, obviously we could do it in the ECU, or we could even do it here on the back by just switching the plugs. All right, let's go look at the ECU. And if you notice, there's really no wires that are, or minimal wiring that's visible inside the car. So we don't have wires strung everywhere. We really like to keep them hidden as much as we reasonably can. And that's why we put the ECU down here, out of the way. So we made this little panel and mounted it up. This is the R5 Nexus, and I haven't done the heat shrink on these connectors yet because we are still adding and testing and adding, changing things around that, it would just be kind of inconvenient to have those shrunk up. But everything's got a connector on it again. This is our solid state relay. And instead of taking these out to remove the solid state relay, we just unplug it. So if we had to change this because it failed, or we wanted to take the car apart, one connector is for goes to the inputs, and the other connector is for the outputs. And they just plug in. And then we actually have a second one of these identically made in the trailer in case this ever does fail. We would just plug it in. There'd be no wiring needed. These are the wires that go to the rear of the car. That's they got plugs on them because this whole front section of the harness that goes up to the firewall down there is all removable, and we don't want to pull these wires all back through the car. We just want to unplug them right here. Everything that's got a connector, every single connector on this car, I should say, has a wiring documentation to it. So we have a big folder that has where every single wire goes. Every single connector's got, on the back of the Deutsch connectors, they have numbers on them. Every connector's number is assigned to a wire. So if we ever wanted to know what wires are in a connector, we would look it up, find the name of the connector, and then there's a list of the wires that are in it with their pin number. So there's a whole book of documentation on it. It wasn't just winged. We actually planned it all out. That takes the longest right there, is planning out how the harness is going to go. And yeah, plans change as it goes together, but it's a big job and it's a lot of fun. But if this is something that you would like us to do to your car, either your full tilt drag car like this, obviously specializing in haul tech, please reach out to us. If you want to convert your car to haul tech and have us wire it, please reach out. If you have something like a Gen 3 Hemi or Challenger, probably anything really, and you want us to wire up a nitrous system in this sort of fashion, or a meth injection system like this, or whatever else, or you have a swap car like a Gen 3 Hemi engine into an older car, please reach out. We'd be happy to assist. We love doing this sort of wiring job and making it nice and neat. So thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it. Reach out if you want us to assist with your wiring jobs. Thanks.